Perhaps you don't need to be a scientist to understand science. Welcome to Cranium versus Skull. Carbon emissions and carbon footprints.
How long have we got left?
Creating the cranium conundrum of the day, Anne-Sofie Lanso, environmental scientist.
Sizzling in your skull, Kester Lovelace, actor, director.
You got a French name, but you're not French.
Yeah, I'm not French at all. I'm from Denmark. I did
Okay.
a PhD in Denmark in environmental science.
Okay. This is easy so far. I understand everything. So,
Perfect. I came to Paris because I found an interesting job at
Okay.
a lab called LSE, which is a really big player in climate science research. But
So we're closer to saving the planet in those 2 years. No?
sadly, no. I think it takes more than one person to save the planet. The problem is to get people to react to all these
Yeah.
facts.
But we're in a post-fact era.
We still collect facts.
Yeah.
The climate is changing, and it
Yeah.
will have consequences for us.
Well, 97% of scientists now agree
Yeah,
on, the global warming.
yeah.
So it's like we finally, after at least 20 years of...
Yeah. But the problem is, so most scientists agree of global warming,
Yeah.
but there is like a few that are a bit skeptical, and then there's also the non-scientists that are skeptical
Well,
about climate science. But
yeah.
the problem is, in the media,
Yeah.
they get much more attention, all these skepticals, than the scientist does. But I also feel like after this summer,
Yeah.
with all the drought in
Yeah,
Europe,
yeah.
people are really getting, okay, maybe yes, climate change is happening.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start to think about what we should do.
Well, that's
avoid
it. It's
the risk.
whether you believe the science or not. The reality,
It's
we
gonna
have to do
happen.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's never going to be 100%. Because there's still people who believe the Earth is flat. Apparently.
I wonder what the carbon footprint of a disembodied voice is.
I work with
Yeah.
the carbon cycle.
The carbon cycle.
The carbon cycle. That's how carbon is moved between the land, the ocean, and the atmosphere. That's something that's very important in climate science. We have been tampering with the carbon cycle because we have been burning all the fossil fuels.
Right, but so before the Industrial Revolution and before we started burning massively fossil
Yeah.
fuels, what was the state of carbon then? It was
Well,
okay. Everything was fine.
Yeah, you could say that.
You know what else is invisible and yet has a massive footprint? Bigfoot.
So does carbon? So carbon exists only. It's an element. I know that much.
Okay, so carbon is in
but-
all living material. So it's in
Right.
plant biomass,
Yeah, okay.
many organic components we find in the environment.
Okay.
We produce it
How?
when we
When we breathe out.
exactly, yeah. It's the same the trees does, all plants. This is the opposite though. Because they take up the CO2 and
This
release
is where it
oxygen to
gets
us.
complicated.
Yeah.
Do you believe in carbon?
No.
This guy does. I feel like he's a carbonist.
The carbon cycle has always been there, but the problem
Yeah.
is now we're putting more CO2 into the atmosphere. So CO2 is carbon and oxygen.
Carbon dioxide.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Combined together. So we put that in the atmosphere now.
So it's in fact it's the combination of it's not just carbon. It's carbon and
No, it's the carbon.
What do you think about the carbon dating?
Give me that sweet, sweet carbon.
We put it in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then in the atmosphere, it's warming the atmosphere
Yeah.
because it's trapping the heat around
Yeah.
Earth. So it's like putting a big blanket
Right. Okay.
around our globe, so it gets warmer.
What's the difference between carbon? I mean, apart from carbon monoxide and dioxide.
Yeah. So carbon monoxide, that's something you get from combustion, and that's actually dangerous to you
Yeah.
if you breathe it.
Okay,
but
but-
it's and I think that's more with like
Car exhaust
exhaust,
emissions.
Yeah, but I think it's better than it was in 60s,
Some-
70s.
Hugger.
Hooker.
Hugger. How do you pronounce it?
Oh, Hygge.
Hugger. Hugger. I get the science. I don't understand Hugger.
Hygge, yeah. So it's about relaxing, being together with people you enjoy. You might have hot cocoa or just hang out in the
With
lounge.
cakes.
You do it a lot.
Is this, are we Hugger now?
I wouldn't classify this as Hygge. It's too formal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God!
But apparently the Danish are some of the happiest people.
Yes. And I think one of the reasons is because, in general, Danish people have low expectations.
Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. No, that's interesting. I mean, the concept of happiness itself is, again, we could do a whole series on it. This is your next series.
No.
What she said.
How do you define happiness? For me, that's what philosophy is. Philosophy is working out, why we're here and why why things go wrong and why things go right.
I don't like philosophy.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah! You got your heaven yeah, too. You got your heavens no. You got your heavens patet.
Heavens Patet.
Heavens patet.
That's my drag name.
My rap group used to be called Heaven's Potato.
Heavens Potato.
Right,
Oh.
but we weren't a rap group and I was a girl then.
Going back specifically to your research then, so if I understand right, it's about carbon cycle in...
Carbon cycle is also a big area. Now I work specifically with forests.
Okay.
Carbon cycle of European forests.
European forest, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do? You go and observe? Or you're stuck in the lab?
I'm stuck in my office.
In your office?
In front of my computer.
Okay.
Because I do modeling.
You're a modeler. Okay.
I'm a modeler,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
But of course I do use observations, measurements that people have made out in the forest.
Okay.
Because we need these information to inform our model.
Right, okay. But how do you can't model something on a global scale. That seems to me that's the whole point, is that you can't test it on, if we had another planet just next door, we're going to test on that planet, see what happens over 25 years, and then we'll see, because...
No, so
Yeah.
I think I'll disagree with you there.
Okay,
Because we do,
right.
so we have climate models, and they're
Right.
like meteorological models that tell you the weather, right?
Yeah.
So they these big, huge numerical models.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it might seem strange that when we talk about these future climate changes and we make these model simulations that will tell about the future, how can we at all be sure about this? And that's because these model systems, we just don't test them from now until the future. We have made sure that they are able to reproduce the past as well.
Yeah,
So
okay.
in that sense, we have some confidence in them.
A carb in a day makes hemorrhoids go away.
So what? So this afternoon you're going back to your lab? Your office. I mean, not your lab even.
Yeah, no, I'll probably so I go back, but I'll probably work from home because I have to pick up my kids.
All right. Yeah.
I have 2 kids.
Okay. Are they interested in science?
They're not that interested in science, and they
Right.
have never asked the question, "What do you do as a work mom?"
Really?
Never.
Oh, so you need a bit of take your daughter to work day. When they grow up, they will know everything about. They'll be so proud of you.
Oh.
No, I mean, well, assuming you carry on a life that's
Reasonable,
to be proud
I
of.
think.
Keeping it so skull.
Your research is about finding the quantities. How much is there enough carbon being recycled, or I'm still not quite sure what.
It's tricky. I'm still figuring out. So what I'm doing more specifically right now is I'm working with my model. So this is what we call a land surface model, which essentially describes the land surface. So we can have forest management, model that. But we also include the nitrogen cycle because there is a link between carbon and nitrogen.
Ah.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I don't know.
I'm going to go no.
I'm going to go no.
So, okay, why do you think, for example, farmers put fertilizer on their fields?
Oh my God, you're asking me that.
Yes.
Well, to help things grow quicker and better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the forest also depends on this fertilization. We don't go out and fertilize the forest,
But it's natural.
the nitrogen content in the soil will affect how the trees grow.
Right. Okay.
And up until now, we don't have any global model that has this incorporated.
Oh, okay.
We as humans has been tampering with the nitrogen
Okay.
because
How?
we fertilize.
Because we're taking it out of with.
No, we just put extra in. Our system.
Putting extra in is bad as what it's got to be the right amount. Is that what you're saying? Or
I think, it's bad. Well, it's mostly bad in the water environment, I think.
Oh, right. So the nitrogen, putting too much nitrogen into the soil gets into the water.
Yeah, and it's
and
not
then-
good in your like lakes and your coastal areas, fjord systems. They don't like the nitrogen because it can foster what's it called when everything dies.
Yeah, death.
I've been working on a joint project, French-Swedish project that's been looking at the Swedish forests because Swedish forests are limited in nitrogen, so that's a good test for our model.
Okay.
But also, for example, in Denmark,
Yeah.
it's a huge farmers' country. We have I think 4 or 5 times more pigs than humans.
Right.
So we have a huge.
I've heard of Danish bacon. Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a huge problem with like all the poo that comes out of the pigs.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's
the excrement.
exactly.
Well, let's keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have problems with the water environment
in
Denmark because we have too much we put on the field and so on.
Okay.
But
so
anyway,
stop farming pigs.
But we like the bacon, right?
I feel like we've been on a carbon-based economy and a carbon-based diet ever since nitrate phosphates went away, or whatever that word was that had more than 3 syllables that he just said.
Stop listening.
I haven't begun.
I mean, maybe you don't need to eat meat every day.
That's absolutely true. I mean,
And especially beef. That's
beef is
beef and lamb.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because
It's no good.
because
I think there's so little meat on the lamb. I don't know. And you
Yeah.
give it lots of food and water.
the
process the meat.
resources that we use
to produce it is to
okay. And we haven't talked about the other gas, the methane from.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
methane. What's that chemically? Methane.
that's a C.
So it's carbon. There's
It's
carbon.
also carbon, CH4 in the boreal area. So that's like north cold areas.
Yeah.
A lot of methane is trapped in the soils in the permafrost.
Okay.
But because the climate is warming, the
It's
permafrost
gonna be
is
released.
thawing, and then we can get these releases. And in a sense, methane is worse than CO2 in the atmosphere.
It's not about saving the planet. It's about saving our human, existence. The planet will probably.
Yeah, it will prevail.
It
will be changed, but you can make this analogy. Okay, so picture this polar bear
Yeah.
alone, maybe on an ice flick up in the sea.
Yeah.
Why should we care about that at all?
Yeah.
Imagine it's you.
So is it simple to say, okay, we're cutting down too many trees to put too many cattle for McDonald's burgers, so we need to stop cutting down trees and everything will be fine?
No, it's not. It depends on where you look. So I'm in Europe, and there we don't cut down trees that much. It's more in the tropics and also in North America they do.
Yeah.
But here, I mean, typically in Europe, when you cut down your forest, you plant a new one because then it grows strong and big, and then you cut it down, sell it, and so on.
I listened close enough to their gigantic words and found in between all the syllables coded hermeneutic information about the brotherhood of Bigfoot, which is actually a sisterhood.
Sorry, we were talking about nuclear attacks for some reason because it's always on the.
Always in the back of my head. Yeah, when is
always
it
on
gonna
the.
happen?
The siren's always on. If you can hear the siren, still, it's always on the first Wednesday of every month, which means that. As my kids even said it, when they were no, they said, but Dad, surely if someone wants to attack us, they'll just attack us on the first Wednesday of a month. And anyway, do you know what to do when you hear the siren?
No, no.
No, well, I don't know. I mean, I know where to go.
I know, like at my job, because I work at this. It's called CUR, so that's the Center of Energy and Atomic Research. We also have our own sirens, and
right.
I just changed building, but I knew like before I had to go down to the common room, and then we'd get like a pill.
Oh, wow.
If we had been exposed, but we found.
Oh, a pill to counterattack radiations.
I don't know.
Not a pill to say, okay, well, we're going to end. Let's do it. Let's have like a big ecstasy rave. Sort of.
No. Oh, but they would have.
I was thinking of becoming a scientist then.
Even though Bigfoot does exist, the PR is to say they don't exist, and you have to go look for them in the places they don't live, because Bigfoot is actually a water being.
We have to have an energy transition. We have to, we have to go to.
Yeah, we have to.
Sustainable energy. Some countries in Europe are doing it better. Denmark's pretty good. isn't it?
We are. Where?
Yeah.
Wind.
Wind, water, heart, go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Why are the people with the money not putting everything behind transition?
I think in climate change,
Yeah.
there is like two myths.
About climate
One
change?
of them is simply it's not caused by humans. The other is, okay, so what? I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's really, you need a shift from like all layers of the society
Yeah.
in order to make this transition possible.
I think you have to make it personal. You have to make the stories personal for people to realise, what.
Yeah. In order for people to change anything, you need to make them be able to relate to it. I also sense that that at least my generation and younger are really realising, okay, this is issues we will be facing throughout our lives.
So, what's your how do you feel towards the fossil fuel industry?
Yeah, not a big fan.
Scientists already knew in the late 50s that smoking caused cancer and all sorts of other things. And it took 20 years before we could, a bit like the climate change, before it became real general knowledge. So the tobacco companies paid millions to keep that information underground, okay?
Yeah.
And we have to do the same with fossil fuel companies, I think. We have to shame them. The only way to attack the fossil industries is to take our money out of them. I mean, big money, the investors, all those companies, including universities. These fossil fuel companies are delighted to say, "Oh, we're sponsoring the arts, aren't we good people?" and so on. And in return, they get rooms that they can invite the Arab sheikhs to come along, and so you're all right with give us some more petrol barrels next year, and so so that this is in the Louvre. Actually, I know a lot about how the Louvre works with the Total, the French.
Oh,
okay?
really?
No, I'm the expert here.
Leave it up to the skulls to act like big brains.
There's a lot of institutions that are breaking their links, and the Tate Modern was the first one in London after 5 years of campaigning, of going in and doing activism. The Tate finally decided, okay, we're not going to take any more sponsorship money from BP, British Petroleum, and it was great. It was a great victory. It took 5 years, but it happened, and so we're trying to do the same thing with the Louvre. Actually, I'm working with a group trying to do the same thing with the Louvre.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sounds
So it's a big
interesting,
plug for Libérons le Louvre. The money is not actually a lot of money. It's the reputation. So Total gets a lovely reputation. It's actually called art washing. I also saw that a woman scientist won a Nobel.
Physics, yes.
Yeah, for physics.
It's the third woman
only the
winning.
third ever,
It's scary, actually.
Have you experienced sort of gender bias? Oh, you're a woman, you shouldn't be interested in science, or
So first, at university, I studied physics to become first because that you needed to become a meteorologist.
Yeah.
So when you went out to the bars and people, you would say, okay, I study physics.
Yeah.
They would first look at you, completely blank.
Yeah.
What? And then the first question for sure would be, there can't be that many girls studying physics.
Yeah, right.
But the truth is, at University of Copenhagen, a third was girls.
Oh, right. Yeah, because also, but then you look at the language in academia. You do a bachelor's, then you do a master's.
Yeah, it's true. Even from middle school and so on, girls hear this. Girls are not supposed to be good in physics, chemistry, and math. So they automatically, okay, I don't maybe have to. Then I don't bother that much about it. And so it's like it's very nice that we can turn it. It's for everybody. But I mean, you and I will probably live fine lives.
It's our grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. But we need to end on
a happy note.
Yeah, a bit of hygge.
Hygge. We can still. I mean, we as humans have to act.
Yeah.
To make sure that the planet is not altered in a dramatic way.
Otherwise, well, it's going to be. Who knows?
Who knows exactly? Yeah. That was not really a happy ending, but
Well,
we'll try for the best.
Cranium Skull.
you have to be optimistic, otherwise, you know, what's the point of?
You'll end up deeply depressed.